Hey everybody, this is Shady C, co-host of the great Wrestling Plus One radio show. Excuse my appearance, but I have insomnia and didn't sleep last night, so this is what you look like when you don't sleep. What can I say? It sucks, but it's life. Today's video is this very special video, and I invite everybody, regardless of your opinion, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, to comment on this video, to say what you think, pretty much. Because this is a topic that needs to be discussed. First, I do want to say, before I go on, I don't think all cops are bad people. There are good cops out there. And unfortunately, whether it's a large or small percentage, these bad cops are giving the good cops a bad name. So I think, I think it's time the good cops stand up and say what they think. I'd love to get a cop on the show, a good cop, and say, so what do you think of all this stuff that these bad cops are doing? Just to see what they say. It'd be nice. Anyways, here goes my rant. Now, I'm going to try not to swear, but I make no promises. Okay, let's start. So basically, you have the Michael Brown situation. You know, an innocent guy, or I don't know all the details. He may have done something I don't know. Point is, from what I know, the cop went up to the car, and there was a struggle, supposedly. Anyway, so the guy, Michael Brown, ends up out of the car, trying to walk away. Cop stops him, turns him around, and points his gun at him. And the cop's story is that he charged at him, as that Michael Brown charged at the officer in question. Now, who among you is going to charge when you're unarmed at a man with a gun? Not too many people. Not too many people at all. So anyways, the autopsy, stuff was just released the other day, and turns out that the wounds are very interesting. Michael Brown had gun sprayings all up and down his arm. I mean, bullets. And he had he was shot in the eye, and he was shot here on the top of his head. Now, from what I hear, Michael Brown was like 6'5", and the cop was like 5'10" at best. There's no physical way he could have shot the man on the top of his head unless the guy was down on his knees or laying down. Because let's think math here. Now, even if you support the cops on this, which I don't. I'm not going to be a lie. I don't. But anyways, so put this in perspective. A dude, 6 foot tall, over 6 foot tall. Like I said, I believe it was 6'5". It could have been more, could have been less, but it was in the area of 6'2" to 6'5". Hey, on this show, on these videos, I don't make notes. I do this from the heart. It comes from here. But anyways, so so the bullet was at the top of the head. Now, let me ask you, mathematically speaking here, go with me on this, people. Is there any mathematical way that a guy under 6 foot could shoot a guy on the top of his head over 6 foot? Like I said, not unless the guy was on his knees and, or he was laying down. Now, if these wounds came first, the ones that were in the arms, that could have dropped him to his knees. And if it did drop him to his knees, the cop was under the obligation right there to stop. No more shooting. I will speak in one of my voices for the cop. Mr. Police Officer, once you have the man subdued, you don't need to keep shooting. Lesson 101. No need to keep shooting. You can stop at any time. But yeah, so that was pretty messed up. Again, I'm trying not to swear. Okay, and then there was another story, also in Missouri. What is it with these Missouri cops, man? I'll tell you. It was a young man who I believe they're saying had some sort of a mental disability, some sort of a mental issue. He walks into a store and steals 2 sodas, and he stays outside the store. And even the store owner came out and recognized that the guy had something wrong with him, and said, I did not want to call the police. I did not want to call the police. So anyway, so some guy was filming this, and the young man was out there, and he had a knife on him, I believe. Yeah, I think there was a knife. And the cops get there, and he's up in the cop's face saying, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. Now, they could have tased him. They could have done that. That'd have been the best bet, the safe route. Could have easily tased him. Things would have been fine. No, he chose to shoot this guy. And then, after shooting him, proceeded to police tape. You know that yellow police tape? To tape off the entire neighborhood, not the area where he was shot. Like, okay, he's shot, let's say right here. Let's say he's shot here. They didn't just tape off, like, from here to here. They taped off the entire street. The entire freaking street. Again, I'm throwing in freaking because I'm wanting to say the other one, but I'm not going to do that. But anyways, so they tape off the entire street. So no one can be on that street now. It's almost like they know they did something wrong. It's almost like when you steal something and you go home and you have that little guilty look on your face. And your mom's like, what did you do? It's like that. That big old tape was the guilty look on their face. Now, I know some of you may agree with me. Some of you may not. It is what it is. Point is we do have some power-hungry cops out there. We do, and it's a fact. And you can agree with me or disagree with me, but it's a fact of life. It's a sad fact of life, granted. I would like to see these cops who are doing this brought to justice. You know, let them go to jail. You know, let them see what it's like in there. Now, I've never been in jail, but relatives of mine have. And I've seen police brutality right in person. I was a witness to it once. I'm not going to say who it was. I tried to get that person to go and file a complaint, but he didn't. I wish he would have. Now, I'll tell you the story, but I'm not going to reveal the person. A person I know was wanted by the police, and he was in my house. He hid in my closet. The cops came to the door, said, is he here? Now, I know the law. I'm not an idiot. We said, yes, he is. We didn't sit there and lie. We didn't try to cover for him. And he said, where's he at? In that room. Goes in the room. He does a search and opens the closet door. Sees him. There was no threat to him. There was no gun on him. The cop decks him right in the face for no reason. Doesn't say get on the ground. I mean, after he punches him, they do the stop resisting. It's like, dude, you freaking punched me. I'm not resisting. I'm grabbing my face. You punched me. So, yeah, I'll put it this way. When I was raised, I had a great deal of respect for law enforcement. But through growing up and seeing how sometimes they can be, sometimes some of them can be, I'll say it that way, my respect went out the window a long time ago. And I've always noticed, because I was raised poor, I was far from rich, far from wealthy, hell, far from well off, far from middle class. So to me, it's never a race issue. And I want to tell you that I was watching Tommy Sotomayor, and I think he said it correctly. He said it just great. He said, it's not a race issue. It's not black or white. It's a class issue. And why do you never see some multi-billionaire being harassed like that by the police? You don't. You see either the working class or the poor. Only two people. And the working class is much less than the poor. The poor get it a lot more. Poor get it a lot more. And only we, the people of the United States of America, can put a stop to it. So in closing, I want to say, everybody, I would love to have everyone's comments, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Tell me what you think. And again, I want to say there are good cops out there who just want to serve and protect, but they're getting a bad name. So, in the words of Eminem, twist it around. Will the real good cops please stand up? Oh, one more thing. You can check out my show on Blog Talk Radio. I'll put a link in the description. I want to make this one of the topics. What we do on Wrestling Plus One is we talk wrestling and we have one extra topic. I would love to make police brutality one of the extra topics. I'm going to work on that. But it's up to the main host, Buck Impact, and we'll see what he says. But anyways, I will put a link in the description. You can check it out. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, it's a great show. There's a lot more cursing in that, though. I don't try to censor myself as much on the show. So if you're offended by cursing, I wouldn't click on the link. But yeah, definitely check us out. And this is Shady C as always. Peace.